All right, future engineers, welcome. In this explainer, we are breaking down absolutely everything you need to know about the JEE Main 2026 application. I know this is a huge first step, and we're here to make sure you nail it. So let's jump right in.
We're going to start with the single most important piece of advice, the one thing that should guide this entire process. Your goal is 100% accuracy, not speed. Every little detail matters, and your only focus should be submitting a perfect, flawless application.
So, to make this super clear, we've broken the whole thing down into 6 key sections. We'll start with that golden rule, then cover all the dates and documents, check out what's new this year, make sure you understand the eligibility stuff, and then wrap it all up with the most important takeaway.
First up, let's get our heads in the right space. We need to lock in the core mindset you need before you even think about opening that application website. Just think of it like this. This is not a race, okay? You get 0 bonus points for submitting on day 1. Your top, and I mean only priority, is an error-free form. Rushing things can lead to silly mistakes that become a huge headache or even impossible to fix later on. All right, now that we've got that mindset on lock, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical details of when you need to apply and what it's going to cost. Here are the key dates for the January 2026 attempt. Now, applications are already open and they're going to close on November 27th. And listen, this is really important. This application is only for the first session. The second session will have a totally separate application window later on. And what about the fees? Well, this table breaks it all down for you by category and gender. Just find your group here so you know exactly how much you'll need to pay when you get to that final step. Okay, the next logical step here is to get all your documents in order. Trust me, having all these files ready to go before you even start is going to make the entire process so much smoother. So, here's your essential checklist. You're going to need digital copies of your signature, your Class 10th certificate, and a valid ID. And please pay very close attention to those file size requirements. They are super strict and can cause upload errors if you don't get them right. And of course, have your AutoHAR number handy for that OTP verification.
Now, this is a fantastic update from previous years, a real game changer. If you've applied for your category certificate, for OBC or EWS, but it hasn't arrived yet, do not panic. You can now submit the details from your certificate application itself. That's a huge relief for so many students.
All right, now for the exciting part. This year brings some pretty significant changes, both to the application form and to what you'll see on screen during the exam. Let's break them down. The biggest change to the form itself is this, a mandatory live photo capture. Yep, this is on top of the regular passport-style photo you upload. You'll have to take a picture with your webcam right then and there. The process itself is meant to be pretty simple. The website will take over your camera, you pose against the light background to click capture and then submit. But a quick word of warning, this step has been known to cause some server issues, so if it doesn't work the first time, don't freak out. Just be patient, maybe wait a bit and try again. So, this brings up a really good question, one I'm sure a lot of you are thinking. What happens if you're on a desktop computer that doesn't have a webcam? The NTA actually has a really clever and pretty seamless solution for this. The website will pop up a QR code, you just scan it with your phone, a link will open up, and you can use your phone's camera to take the picture. It then automatically syncs and uploads to your application. Pretty smart, right? So beyond that live photo, there are 2 other new features you're going to see during the actual exam. First, there's a dark mode option, which is nice for reducing eye strain. And second, something that's caused a lot of buzz, a new on-screen basic calculator.
And when I say basic, I mean basic. This thing is just for simple arithmetic. The message here is pretty clear. The exam is meant to test your analytical skills and your concepts, not how fast you are at complex calculations. So here's the crucial point. Do not let this calculator stress you out. Everyone has the exact same tool. If it helps everyone get a few more marks, the relative ranking, your percentile, isn't going to change. It's a completely even playing field.
Next up, let's make sure we're crystal clear on the academic requirements. This is super important, not just for taking the exam, but for actually getting admission into top schools like the NITs and IITs. So for getting into those centrally funded technical institutes, the criteria are very specific. If you're general, OBC, or EWS, you need either 75% in your Class 12 boards, or you need to be in the top 20 percentile of your specific board. For SC and ST students, that requirement is 65%. But how do you calculate that percentage if you add more than 5 subjects? Well, there's a very specific formula. You take physics and maths, add one technical subject, like chem or computer science, add one language, and then you add your highest scoring remaining subject. That gives you the 5 subjects that count.
Okay, this is a simple one, but it trips people up all the time. Your state of eligibility is determined by the location of your school, where you took your Class 12th exam. That's it. It is not your permanent home address. So if you live in Bihar but went to school in Kota, your state of eligibility is Rajasthan. Simple as that.
We're at our final section. We're going to end this by circling right back to where we started and hammering home the most critical message of this whole explainer.
So, what's the one thing you have to remember from all of this? Take your time. Be meticulous and double-check every single thing you enter. There are no prizes for being first, only for being correct. I'd suggest you keep this explainer handy, maybe even watch it again step by step while you're filling out the form. Good luck!